This review of the Sonic Advance series may contain spoilers and coarse language. If neither of those bother you, then have fun watching and enjoying this review. I fucking love Sonic Advance. I'm just gonna be blunt and just say it, I love Sonic Advance. It's got some fast-ass platforming, damn well good music, nearly perfect level design, and with each iteration, seems to add something new to the table that really can make it an enjoyable experience. The company at their first hands at this, Dimps, they damn well knew what the GBA was capable of. Sonic Advance truly is, without a doubt, one of the best series on the Game Boy Advance. The Sonic Advance series is definitely one I need to look at, from start to finish. Sonic Advance came out on the Game Boy Advance in 2002 and pretty much is, well, Sonic 4. Before Sonic 4 actually happened, this was Sonic the Hedgehog 4. It had almost the exact same physics, exact same gameplay, and it added some new stuff that made the game series a lot more unique than its Genesis counterparts. I think I would be underselling the game if I didn't tell you how much I love Sonic Advance. This game pretty much improved everything that was in the original Genesis games, and then some. The level design was always fun, the controls were smooth and precise, and really at no point when I was playing this game was I ever bored by it. Sonic Advance is always just a fun game to play, no matter who you're playing as. Sonic Advance did something that really added a lot to the Sonic the Hedgehog series and gave everyone new moves. Everyone has a certain attack button now instead of using just rolling or jumping on enemies. And at the same time, they also are given moves that A, might help them traverse something, or B, just are fucking cool. Plus, there's also some cool moves here and there, like how Sonic can grind on a rail. Damn, that's pretty fun. Wait, Amy can grind on a rail too. Oh, I get it! Grinding! One of the things I always didn't really like about Sonic the Hedgehog 3 was that Sonic always felt useless. He couldn't fly, he couldn't glide, he couldn't jump on a wall and climb up it. No, he was useless. He just had that spinning airstrike move that could barely be helpful, along with the elemental shields. Sonic Advance changes that. Sonic is broken in this game, but broken in the sense of how quick he can be. Playing as Sonic, you're given a shitload of flow. Like, literally perfect for speedrunning. He can stop on a dime and accelerate from said dime. Tails and Knuckles, however, stay pretty much identical to their Genesis counterparts. Knuckles can even do that enemy trick where you can fly away if you hit an enemy at the right time. Amy, however, I was a bit worried about, because when you play as Amy, she can't roll into a ball, or spin dash, or do any of the things you'd imagine that you should be able to do in a Sonic game. She doesn't even have any of the level design changed for her. Well, how the fuck did they even make the game for her then? What the hell are people expected to do? Well, color me impressed. At least they didn't have to make the physics shit to compensate. Amy is certainly a different beast in this game, but the fact that the level design didn't need to change to compensate for her, that's pretty awesome. Despite Amy not being able to roll into the ball, she makes up for it by having an extremely huge move pool, along with some clever tricks of her own. Take an instance like this where it's easy for Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles to just spin dash up. Well, Amy can't do that. Instead, there are some springs right there that she can hit with her hammer. But those are only there in case she gets stuck, because in reality, she still has the same momentum and can still run as fast as the other three characters. Man, they even have some pretty decent special stages in here. I mean, really, it took Sega quite a bit to get up to, a skydiving special stage. But damn, do I love it. Man, this stage is cool. And that clear theme! How could I forget to talk about the music in this game? Oh, Sonic. Is there really such thing as a Sonic game with bad music? You know, I didn't really need to hear this. This can stop now. Stop! Stop! Man, the soundtrack even features Sonic games from the past's music. Maybe this really is Sonic 4. And look, if you're a Sonic Adventure fan, it even has a Chow Garden! Thrilling! Sonic Advance 1 is just a great game, and if you don't own it, I think I have the right to slap you, because it's that great. It is really just a must-own on the Game Boy Advance. But the question is, did Sonic Advance 2 and 3 improve from this game? Well, let's see if 2 did. Unfortunately, the answer's no. Well, I shouldn't exactly say that. Sonic Advance 2 does take a step forward, but it does take 2 steps back. Sonic Advance's gameplay changes tremendously with this game. While it still features the same physics engine as, say, the Genesis Sonic the Hedgehog games, the gameplay is totally different. A lot of it is about momentum. A lot of it! You'll be doing a lot of running and a lot of grinding now that every character can. But at the same time, it all feels like you're just holding right. Sonic Advance 2 also introduced a trick system, in which you could do a lot more cool platforming. But eventually, you start going to stages where doing tricks are the only way to save your ass. There are different means to get to the special stages. In Sonic Advance 1, you had to find some special stage springs to get to them. In Sonic Advance 2, however, you have to find these 7 special stage rings, and you have to make sure to collect them all. Come on! Let me get it! Come on! In Sonic Advance 1, however, if you got a Chaos Emerald as one character and a different Chaos Emerald as a different character, everyone got them. In 2, you have your own separate case of Chaos Emeralds to get, so that means every single character has to do all of the special stages. Why? Sonic Advance 2 also marks the introduction of Cream the Rabbit. Cream is just like Tails. She can fly. But unlike Tails, she can cancel flying. She's also got an adorable little chow named Cheese. Cream and Cheese. 3, 2. Cream can use Cheese to attack other enemies nearby. Cheese is certainly helpful when it comes to boss fights. Very helpful. Incredibly helpful. Very, wow. However, the music in this game, I would say, is a little bit better. Just a little. It's very, very fucking good.
3, 2, 1.
Sonic Advance 2 overall is still a great game. It's great. I've enjoyed my time playing it. But when you compare it to Sonic Advance 1, it feels like it's a step backwards. The level design can be a bit off, and sometimes the game can kind of come off as being boring. I was able to beat the previous game with all 4 characters, but in this game, I could only really do it with just Sonic. But there is one nice thing about Sonic Advance 2, and that was that the game was moderately successful. So what did that lead to?
Sonic Advance 3!
Sonic motherfucking Advance 3. A game that took everything good about Sonic Advance 1 and 2, smushed them together, added something new, and it all worked great. Sonic Advance 3's main gimmick is that you get to choose a partner to come along with you. What does that mean? Why, it means when you go through the game, you're tagging along with someone else. The tag partners are a great addition to this game, because not only do they make the following character not useless, but they also allow you to pull off some crazy-ass stunts. And this is a Sonic game, so the stunts are even crazier. But not only that, changing characters also changes your moveset too. In total, if you take into account all the teams, Sonic Advance 3 has about 20 different playable characters. Holy shit! So say you don't like playing as regular Sonic with Tails. Oh, well, that sucks. Maybe you should try someone like Sonic and Knuckles, who has a double jump. This sort of mix and matching and finding out your perfect combo for stages really puts a lot of replayability in this game. Especially when you're motivated by the game's time trials. Oh yeah, you didn't think there'd be a Sonic game without time trials? You want that shiny gold medal and you know it. Sonic Advance 3 also has a hub world instead of a traditional level select screen. The first 3 stages are unlocked by default, but then you have to fight the boss to get to the next hub world. These hub worlds also contain a lot of mini-games because lives are kind of scarce in this game, so to counteract it, mini-games! The goal is to do them as fast as possible, and you will certainly get your time's worth. Getting Chaos Emeralds is also different in this game too. Instead, you have to look around for some chow. And just like Sonic Advance 1, if you get 1 Chaos Emerald as one character, everyone gets it. But before you get that Chaos Emerald, you gotta find the special stage key. Why? Because some jerk-off put a lock on it. Oh well, it's definitely worth it to try and get it. Oh yeah, I forgot to talk about how great this soundtrack is. Again, Sonic Advance 3's soundtrack beats the first 2. It is really fucking good. And I'm not really one to be a graphics whore or anything, but I really, really enjoy a lot of the sprite work in this game. Advance 3 looks beautiful, sounds beautiful, and is beautiful. What else can I say? That's pretty much how the Sonic Advance series ends, on a very, very high note. Afterwards, the company that made this game moved on to make the Sonic Rush games, which are also pretty damn good. Even though Sonic Advance 2 clearly took a step backwards in terms of design, the series overall, though, is still a must-play. You might be able to skip the second installment if you really want to. There's no real connection between these 3 games. But if you want to have loads of fun, the Sonic Advance series is definitely up your alley. It's without a doubt a game series that you need to play from start to finish. Sonic Advance 3 has this new gimmick in it called the 2 characters.